Hello and welcome to Podcast for Students, brought to you by Jobs for Students, a free weekly newsletter which helps you find jobs around your campus, as well as internships and graduate jobs and all the latest student news. If that sounds like something you might be interested in, join 13,000 students and graduates who have already signed up by going to j4s.careers. That's j4s.careers. Now, my guest today is Charlie Batty, a business and managerial economics student at the University of Exeter. At one point in his life, Charlie was an apprentice chef at the Ritz, but now he is cooking up an app called Student a2z, a one-stop shop for all the information you need to navigate the university experience. The app and website are currently focused on the University of Exeter, but Charlie has plans to roll this out to all of the other universities in the UK. So without further ado, let's jump into the episode with Charlie. So Charlie, thank you so much for being on the podcast. So okay. Your second year at University of Exeter. How is University of Exeter?
Really good. It's so nice being near the beach as well. Makes all the difference when you can hear the sea.
Oh, class. I didn't realize it was close proximity to a beach. That's always fun.
Yeah,
And
perfect.
is there any myths or urban legends or anything you'd recommend people do if they are a student at Exeter that they might not know yet?
Oh, there's quite a well-known one that J.K. Rowling went to the university, and apparently in the library she thought, well, we like to think that in the library she thought of the first Harry Potter book, so that's always an exciting one.
Oh, it's always nice to attribute a star to your university. And so, what are you studying?
I'm studying business and finance.
Wow. And what do you like about your course?
It's really good, and it's what I really like about the course is we get a lot of guest speakers coming in about the ones that kind of run their own businesses in kind of contradictory to normal lectures where you just learn loads of points. It's quite nice to have real world experience that come in and teach.
Yeah, and what guest lectures have you enjoyed? Or
We had yesterday we had one from Rothschild and Co Bank
yeah.
that came to talk about internships. Those kind of ones from high industry kind of professionals are really good fun.
Oh, fantastic. And yeah, so before we talk about how maybe your business course has inspired your entrepreneurial activities, I saw on your LinkedIn you were an apprentice chef at the Ritz. What was that like?
Yeah, very stressful. It definitely taught me how to deal with stress because it's just non-stop shouting everywhere. But there's just an immense amount of passion that's put into every single thing, and it's also thought out and carefully planned. And it taught me to be very disciplined, I think.
Wow. And you're no longer cooking up amazing meals. You're now cooking up apps. So tell us about Student a2z and why you created it.
So Student a2z is kind of a one-stop hub for students. It's effectively a student trip advisor where you can review accommodations, societies, local hotspots. And it kind of the aim of it is to give transparency of information for university students. Because, for example, when I came to university, I had no idea where to go out at night or what to do. And it's kind of there to solve that problem.
Wow. And has there been any surprises about the app or what information students find important or?
Yeah, there's been a lot of kind of interesting things in that it's kind of been an ongoing process of learning and kind of changing it. And it's kind of almost been a collaborative effort of all the extra students. We've got 5,000 on now, and I kind of constantly get feedback of what they think I should add and what people struggle with. For example, like a couple of days ago, I got one from a disabled student asking about if I could review accessibility points for students, and you kind of feel like you're really helping someone by kind of giving them a tool.
Wow, yeah. And um without spoiling any future news, are you planning to roll it out to any other universities?
Hopefully that's the idea. I mean, if they all go hopefully as well as Exeter, we should be okay. But in the next month or two, we've got on the books another 15 to roll out to. It should be exciting.
Wow. Well, let us know and we can give you a shout out. And how do you actually market it to students? You're saying how did you get to 5,000?
Well, through a lot of pain and effort. You kind of I was always taught to do things that aren't scalable. So the first kind of couple of days is literally handing out a flyer and almost convincing each person about the idea. And then I think the biggest kind of flattery is that people have just kind of told their friends about it and kind of word has passed round, which I think is reassuring that the kind of platform's at least a tool to help people.
Yeah, oh, wow. And so you mentioned their flyering. Is there any other ways you've like found are helpful to market to students? And I'm asking
Mm.
this like with some self-interest because I would like to know to promote jobs for students.
No, quite right. I've actually recently got into TikTok quite a bit,
Wow.
and a few of my friends we've kind of gone round interviewing people for TikToks and just asking kind of what's the craziest thing you've seen at Exeter and that sort of thing. And they've gone down really well, and we've kind of had 5,000, 10,000 views here and there, which all help in the long run.
Wow. And we are a family-friendly podcast, but what is the craziest thing some people have seen at Exeter?
We had one person turn up with a police escort on Freshers Week,
Oh, wow.
to carry in all their bags and things, and with like army trucks, which probably was the craziest thing I've seen, at least.
Wow, I would love to know the story behind that. And yeah, and so like how do you actually balance like the studying and like building the app and the website?
Yeah, but it's kind of been trial and error. At the start, I kind of felt relatively overloaded with everything, but I've learned to kind of to kind of structure the day, and I give myself 5 main points to do each day. And if I manage to do the 5 main points, kind of for the business and also for uni work, I mean, kind of productiveness just goes through the roof. And you can always do more than those 5 points. So, for example, it could be small or big. Go and hand out 100 flyers or something like that, and or post a TikTok, for example. And if you do 5 things each day, suddenly the week gets quite productive.
Wow, wow, okay, and so that's five things like including both uni, so like five things altogether per day.
Five things for both. So I kind
Oh
of try
wow,
and do 5 things for the course and 5 things for the business each day. Although not, it doesn't always work, but that's what I strive for.
wow. And what would be like examples of like how would you break down your coursework into like just five things?
Coursework, maybe I've got exams sadly coming up for Christmas. So one could be write 150 words towards the essay or revise for an hour for an exam. All very time consuming. I don't find there are enough hours in the day.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But no, I've always been the kind of person that likes to keep busy. So it all works out in the end.
Yeah, exactly. And so apart from like taking student A to Z to the stock market and selling it for billions,
Yeah.
do you have any other aspirations for what you might want to do after Exeter and of course?
Um, Not really. I haven't massively made up my mind on what kind of area I'd like to go into. I mean, I've always as a kid wanted to have a business, and I'm so lucky and fortunate that I have one already at 21.
Wow.
I've always wanted to be a business, and I've never quite been able to take commands from above. So I'm sure I'll end up having a business, whether it's Student A to Z or another one along the line. So definitely along there. But I mean, I used to want to be as a chef or an architect as a kid, and then I learned that I didn't enjoy it massively. So we'll have to see how it goes.
Wow, I wonder will the Ritz have a job for you if
Yeah,
you
if
manage
they'll
to
have me
tell it back.
back.
And yeah, like what advice would you say to students who potentially want to have a business while they're studying?
Yeah, I think there's a massive preconception that you can't do all of these things at once and you get too many things on the platter, but it's very easy to kind of work at it each day step by step. And as long as you're putting one half a step forward, a toe forward, you're still moving in the right direction, and soon the toes become steps and it's just kind of building blocks really in the foundation. So I'd make sure, my advice would be, I'd make sure you enjoy it. And like me, I love going out and talking to new people, talking to pub owners and private accommodations and meeting new people. Like today, I had a meeting with Stagecoach about possible buses in the area. I just love meeting new people, so it's kind of the perfect pastime. And it's so much. I think it's a lot more beneficial than maybe watching Netflix or something, which I do love doing. But you kind of feel like you're getting a real bit of value from it.
Yeah, yeah. I always find I work
until I burn out, and then whenever I burn out, I binge watch on Netflix.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so you're second year now, but like if you were able to travel back in time and you were able to go and speak to the slightly younger Charlie who was arriving in
Yeah.
Exeter for the first time, like what advice would you say to them? So maybe like one aspirational and one actual practical one.
Yeah,
Um,
one aspirational, which I think's aspirational the fact that I'd say don't worry, because I used to be a bit of a worrier, and I think if you say don't worry, it doesn't just stop someone worrying, but kind of just relax a bit. And practical, I think try even more things. I liked trying different societies, but maybe a couple of them I thought, well, would I have time to do those, that kind of thing. But you don't have a big commitment to each of them, and even if you go to one here or there or a taster session, it's massively worth it.
sure.
And for example, I've joined a lot of societies that actually I didn't think I'd be interested in, but tried it and absolutely loved it. So
Oh,
I'd definitely just put yourself out there.
yeah. What would be examples of those societies?
Um, I've, I've loads. I mean, one society I'm part of like pottery painting society and things
Oh,
like that, and I'd have no idea that I'd have liked that. And Calsop, like Caledonian dancing society. Yeah, and you kind of get a group of mates and think, oh, that could be quite good fun, and then you end up going there and absolutely just fall in love with it. And it's those
yeah.
kind of things that I think uni's all about, because you wouldn't normally go off and do those kind of activities. But yeah,
Exactly. Well, Charlie, thank you so much for being on the podcast. That was fascinating,
that's
and good
okay.
luck with them exams you've got coming up in December.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you enjoyed listening to that episode with Charlie as much as I enjoyed recording it. If you're a UK student, be sure to check out Student A2Z, Charlie's app and website, which helps you find all the information you need to navigate your student journey. Also check out Jobs for Students, our free weekly newsletter, which helps you find jobs around your campus, as well as internships, graduate jobs, and all the latest student news. Join 13,000 students and graduates who have already signed up by going to j4s.careers. That's j4s.careers. And let us know who you would like to hear from next. Which student or graduate should we interview on the podcast next? And as always, thank you for watching and listening.